Alright, we are trading Monday, November 17th. No news during London. We do have Canadian CPI and some medium impact news for dollar. We do have NFP unemployment rate. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. So NFP unemployment rate is coming out on Thursday. So, and then on Friday, the news during London is just crazy sporadic. So, probably won't be trading Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Maybe Wednesday. But definitely not Thursday, Friday. So yeah. What we're looking at right now is bearish dollar. Obviously, it's Monday, right? So, beginning of the week. Let me see. Monthly, like I said, took monthly short-term high, closed lower. Previous week also closed lower on the dollar. And I'm pretty sure the euro also looks the same. Yeah, so the euro, actually there wasn't a weekly for value up on the euro, but yeah. So I'm looking at this as this could already be the high of the week. To be honest, it's very possible. So since we've already reacted off the previous day's high sweep and the daily for value up, and we're wicking this inverse for value up we made, obviously bearish dollar, right? I did have this redelivered rebalance marked out just in case it did want to reach up in there, but it's looking like it's not gonna want to. We also have this new week opening gap as well that I'll just keep there just in case. But I don't think these will get tapped into today, maybe later on in the week, but yeah. Is there SMT? This low comes in at 992, this low comes in at 991, so this is a higher low made here. Lower high. Okay, no SMT here with those daily lows on dollar. 4 hour. We're in the premium of this range. Also in this 4 hour for value gap after taking 4 hour short term high liquidity. 4 hour is coming from this bullish 4 hour for value gap, which I do not like. What I was looking at here for this scenario is Asia opposing range, right? Yeah, no, I think we stay bearish here. I know 4 hour has bullish order flow, but 1 hour has had a change in the state of delivery with this 1 hour candle close, right? I will be monitoring how price reacts off of here. But I think I'm going to enter in for a long euro. Bada bang. Boom. Bow. No SMT. Actually, pound hasn't taken its previous day's low. But pound is also kind of decorrelated as well, so in a way, not like crazy, but it is decorrelated in a way. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be looking at as an entry. This looks like low-hanging fruit right here. Honestly, this looks like low-hanging fruit right here. Pretty much 1 to 2. 21 ticks, so that's 2 contracts is $12.50 times 21, so that's 0.5%. So let's do that. 6,235. Do we have a better entry? We could have one right here. 6,225. I'm gonna go for 6230, because the reason why is because we're still inside of this 1 hour for inverse for value gap that we just made, right? Like that. But then we also have this 15-minute change in the state of delivery that happened, and this is the last down close candles, right? Before the change in the state of delivery. So I'm looking at this as the order block, right? So I'm thinking that it's pretty likely that price could tap into that down closed candle. I'm just gonna move it up 1 tick just to make sure I get filled. So yeah, 6230. Two contracts is all I can do. Stop loss. It's a little over a 2-to-1. So I should be looking to make 1% here, basically. Seems doable, to be honest. The only downside is obviously this 4 hour, but we are coming. The reason why I'm kind of ignoring this 4 hour, let me just clean all this up. The reason why I'm kind of ignoring this 4 hour, no, well, I'm not kind of, I am ignoring this 4 hour order flow, right? Obviously we're bullish here. The reason why I'm ignoring it though is because we're coming from a higher time frame array, daily for value gap, daily previous day high sweep, and we also had a 1 hour change in the state of delivery from that, right? So that's kind of why I don't care too much about that. I'm gonna move my entry up just 1 tick, just because I'm honestly moving it up 1 tick because I don't want to miss my fill like last time. So original entry, started the 1 hour for value gap. I do believe that it will end up digging a little bit deeper into, like I said, that 15-minute, maybe even the 30-minute as well. It definitely could. So let me just mark these out, and I'll watch them as resistance. The bodies. I kind of want to keep this recording going until it taps me in, so you can hear the order filled sound. But I also don't want to make this initial recording too long. Let's just watch it for a second. I gotta close my window, bro. It is so cold. Actually, I'm feeling a little cozy. I'm gonna keep my window open a little bit and then just put on a robe so I'm more comfy. Okay, looks like it's not wanting to tap me in right now, so I'll come back when I'm tapped in. Alright, looks like price is about to tap me
Order
in.
filled.
There we go. 1 hour did close higher and then close past. Let me just go to trading view. First hour of London closed higher past this bearish for value gap, and then we, at the close of this 1 hour candle, we started, I think it was a new 4 hour on, no. I thought we started a new 4 hour candle somewhere. I could have sworn that that was the start of a new 4 hour candle on dollar. After an hour into London, it's the start. Huh. When's the start of this 4 hour candle? 1 a.m. And this one started at the beginning of London. Whatever. Slight misunderstanding, I guess, on the 4 hour. Anyways. So, yeah, bearish dollar still is intact. I know this doesn't look the best for bearish dollar on the 4 hour, because it looks like the 4 hour is rejecting off of this fair value gap, which, I mean, it is. It doesn't look like it. It is rejecting off of this 4 hour fair value gap. And same thing with Euro. It's rejecting off of this 4 hour fair value gap. But on Euro, it feels a little bit better because we're only an hour and a half into the 4 hour candle. But then on the dollar, we're 2.5 hours in. So it doesn't look as good on the dollar. But I still am pretty confident. I know that we have these relative equal highs up here, which I don't think we have them on Euro. Yeah, we do not have them on Euro. Obviously, we have this trend line right here. But, I mean, like, besides that, I don't really see an obvious sell-side liquidity pool that we'd be targeting over these relative equal highs and dollars relative equal lows. I mean, if we just draw up a chart right here, or range, right? We just tapped into the premium of this range, and now we're already heading closer towards the lower. And on Euro, the higher. I mean, if I were to drop the similar range, I'm sure it would. I'm pretty sure this is a similar November 10th. Yeah, November 10th. So obviously it's looking like we're going to be targeting these relative equal highs is what I'm thinking. So yeah, the only real way I see this going against us is because 4 hour has recently been bearish. But again, the reason why I'm going against that is because we had daily order flow trumping it. So we are in, already in profit. And again, just as a reminder, we are targeting for 2%. Let me just, I don't need this. 41. Yep, 512. I'm going to move the take profit just slightly above, just in case it wants to run past it. Maybe I'll get a little bit extra. But I will be taking profit at 1 to 2 for sure. But like I said, if it wants to displace past it, I'll close it in there a little bit. So, yeah. Alright, so the trade is not looking very good. I'm expecting it to stop me out, but I am still holding it because I think that there is still a chance that it could turn around from here. Do I think it's more likely that it'll turn around rather than stopping me out? No. But I still think that there is a chance for it to turn around, and I honestly still stick with my analysis. Yeah, I really do. If it does end up stopping me out and continuing higher, obviously I think it will be targeting these relative equal highs and maybe the high that we made here. So price is currently in the second stage redistribution of what looks to be a smaller scale market maker buy model. I am watching it because obviously London is closed by now and I'm getting ready to go to bed. And I'm looking at it on the 1 hour, and we have this opposing 1 hour for value. So I'm definitely going to be waiting for this 1 hour candle to close, maybe the next 1 hour candle. I'm probably going to fall asleep during the next 1 hour candle, but I really want this 1 hour candle to close past it. So that's what I'm watching for as of right now. Just being honest, I'm probably going to be waking up in the middle of the night to check the position and see what's going on, see where it's at. And if I get stopped out, I'll close the take profit. If it hits the take profit, I'll close the stop loss. So, yeah, that's the plan. I'm liking how it's looking. I'm not gonna lie. When it was going through all of this drawdown, I was kind of freaking out. Not freaking out like, I can't lose this trade, I can't lose this trade. It was more so just like me looking at the chances of me being wrong, right? And I was in my head overthinking about it a lot, to be honest. But I did acknowledge that I was really emotional in the moment. I did record it, but it was a 9.5 minute clip of me going back and forth about like how I'm feeling on the trade, and then basically ended with me acknowledging that okay, I'm just being really emotional because I'm in drawdown, and it was on this candle that when we came back, I started thinking more clearly, and I acknowledged I was like, okay, obviously now that price is giving me some more breathing room. I'm not feeling as bad about the trade. I'm gonna trust the analysis, and because I'm teetering back and forth emotionally, I'm just gonna take my hands off the wheel and just let the trade go and trust my initial analysis. Um, so yeah, did want to add in that clip of me going back and forth and then having the self-realization and awareness of like, okay, I'm just being super emotional right now. But like I said, the clip was 9.5 minutes long, and I don't want to cut up a clip and do all that, so I just deleted it and would rather just tell you guys what I went through real quick like that. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Alright, so looks like price did end up stopping us out. Literally just turned right pretty much after I ended that recording, which was crazy. But yeah, with the help of hindsight, we see that the OTE was the play here. So the scenario wasn't an opposing range, it was an Asia to London OTE. Obviously, boom, boom. Everything's easier in hindsight, right? But the play that, what I did wrong here was obviously direction. I got the direction wrong, and that's what messed it up. As I was talking about before, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in the previous recordings, is I was justifying other time frames, and mainly lower time frames having a change in the state of delivery, aiding the opposing time frame. But I think that 4 hour really is the main focus. Daily obviously is important, right? And like, yes, daily order flow was bearish here, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm trading the 4 hour candle, and I think that I also should have taken into account that it's first day of the week, right? So definitely a close higher will be more likely. I'm not sure, but I'll look into it the next day. But either way, the main reason why I lost this trade was wrong direction. So that's the lesson I'll have to learn from this one. Alright, it is the next day, rather later in the same day. And it's clear that I was just wrong on direction. But here is why. So what I was looking at was obviously this monthly is bearish, right? Monthly order flow, technically still bearish. Yes, we've closed past this redelivered rebalance, but we haven't closed above it, made another candle, and then closed above it as well. So we haven't fully disrespected it. We've only like closed past it and then rejected. So even what I'm trying to say is the monthly is kind of irrelevant. Yes, we're coming from the short-term high, right? And so that is showing bearish intent, and we've had a reaction, but that's about the extent of what I'm getting from the monthly for right now, right? Obviously, it's looking like it is rejecting off of this redelivered rebalance now, but still, that's about all I'm getting from the monthly is we reacted off this monthly short-term high, and I'm expecting more bearishness from dollar. Leading up to the rate cut specifically in December. So weekly bullish, right? I went over all of this. So what I'm trying to say is like what I ended up going with was 1 hour in daily, because London and right before London did have a market structure shift. We closed past this opposing 1 hour fair value gap, and that's what initiated a market structure shift on the 1 hour. And on the daily, we were also in bearish order flow for the day, right? So when you look at 1 hour and daily, it looks bearish. But then when you look at the 4 hour and weekly, it's bullish. So I chose the wrong pairing, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in a previous recording as well. But like I had also said, I was like, I'm just going to commit to the trade. Since I was so emotional about it back and forth, I had two options: either just close the trade immediately where it was, or just eat it, and just let it play out, let my initial analysis play out. So I obviously just let the initial analysis play out, took the loss, and yeah, I knew that direction was wrong, but then I went to bed, woke up, looked at it again, and it's just so crazy how different your mind can be when you wake up. Like, it's so much more fresh, you know what I mean? And it's just, also with the power of hindsight, right? Like, I can clearly see that the day was bullish instead of bearish, right? But I'm going to use that to my advantage, right? Like, when it's showing me the answer, I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm not just going to be like, oh, it's hindsight, so I don't want to learn from it, right? So, yeah, that was the lesson. Obviously, higher time frame trumps the lower time frame, so that's what I got to stick with.